Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that half the people on your street are gone. Not because they moved away, not because of war, but because of a disease nobody understands. In the year 1347, Europe was about to experience one of the deadliest disasters in human history, the Black Death, a plague so devastating that it may have killed up to 200 million people worldwide. And in some places, it wiped out more than half the population. But what made the Black Death truly remarkable wasn't just how many people it killed. It was how completely it changed the world that came after it. The story probably began thousands of kilometers away from Europe. Most historians believe the disease traveled west through trade routes connecting Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Back then, trade was booming. Silk, spices, precious metals, and unfortunately, disease moved together. By 1347, ships carrying infected rats arrived in Europe. Nobody knew it yet, but history was about to change. One of the strangest facts about the Black Death is that people had absolutely no idea what caused it. Some believed it was punishment from God. Others blamed the position of planets in the sky. Some thought poisonous air was responsible. Doctors even recommended carrying flowers because they believed pleasant smells could protect people from infection. Of course, none of it worked. The disease spread incredibly fast. Victims often developed painful swellings called buboes. Some became covered in dark spots caused by bleeding under the skin. Many died within just a few days. Imagine seeing a healthy neighbor on Monday and attending their funeral by Thursday. That became normal. Entire villages disappeared. Some settlements were abandoned and never repopulated. Even today, archaeologists continue to discover mass graves from the plague. And here's something even more shocking. The Black Death killed so many people that Europe actually ran out of workers. Before the plague, peasants had very little power. There were always more workers available. If one person refused a job, another would take it. But after millions died, everything changed. Suddenly, workers were valuable. Farmers could demand higher wages. Laborers could negotiate. Some people even moved to different towns looking for better opportunities. For ordinary people, this was something completely new. In some regions, survivors became wealthier simply because so many others had died. Houses, land, and businesses were inherited by fewer people. As strange as it sounds, some families became richer because of the plague. The shortage of workers created another unexpected problem. Fields were left empty. Crops weren't harvested. Food production dropped. Many landowners became desperate. Some even offered better conditions just to convince people to stay and work. This weakened the old feudal system that had dominated medieval Europe for centuries. The Black Death also changed fashion. With more wealth available to survivors, some ordinary people started buying clothing that previously only the rich could afford. This upset certain nobles so much that laws were introduced telling people what they were allowed to wear. Religion was affected too. Many people expected the church to provide answers. Instead, thousands of priests died alongside everyone else. When prayers failed to stop the disease, some people began questioning traditional authorities. Others became even more religious. The result was a society searching for explanations in a world that suddenly felt unpredictable. Fear led to some very dark moments. People often looked for someone to blame. Rumors spread quickly. Minority groups were falsely accused of causing the plague. Many innocent people suffered because frightened communities wanted answers. It's a reminder that fear can spread almost as quickly as disease itself. One of the most famous symbols of the plague didn't actually appear until later outbreaks. The plague doctor mask, the one with the long beak. Many people assume it was used during the original Black Death, but it became more common centuries afterward. Doctors filled the beak with herbs and flowers because they believed pleasant smells could block disease. Today, it looks frightening. Back then, it was considered protective equipment. The Black Death also helped create one of the world's most important public health ideas: quarantine. The word comes from the Italian word for 40. In some cities, arriving ships were forced to wait 40 days before passengers could come ashore. Officials hoped this would prevent infected travelers from spreading disease. Surprisingly, the basic idea is still used today. Even modern outbreaks often involve isolation and quarantine measures. The Black Death wasn't just one of history's deadliest pandemics. It was one of history's biggest turning points. And that's why, centuries later, we're still talking about it. And perhaps the most unsettling part of the story is this: the bacteria that caused the Black Death never completely disappeared. Cases are extremely rare, and modern medicine can usually treat them with antibiotics. But the disease itself is not gone. In other words, the same plague that once terrified medieval Europe still survives in nature. The difference is that today we understand what it is, how it spreads, and how to fight it. And that simple difference may be what separates one of history's greatest disasters from a problem modern society can control.